Well, hello internets, here we are. Apologize if the audio is a little off, however, this is going to be a little bit of a voiceover vlog. Partly to do with because I don't feel like being on the camera in my current shape or condition. About 3 weeks ago, I ended up picking up a little something that knocked me flat. I had total system crash, very near system shutdown, and quite a lot of other unpleasant things going on. I'm gonna spare you with the details because some of them are quite unpleasant. Let's just say that I'm very, very thankful that I was close to a bathroom, especially for the first couple of weeks. My symptoms were very, very similar to the illness that I had in 2019 when I had overdone it on the big road trip, or so I thought that I overdid it. I'm still not 100% sure that my sickness that I had in 2019 was 100% due to overdoing it. Because of where I went and the places that I was, there was a lot of tourist type places that I visited. So in theory, the potential people that could have visited that place either in the days before or just shortly before, or in just before I got there, and the people that they had contact with could have been great. As you may or may not have noticed by the footage of 2019, this was before, of course, the big shutdown that has happened in the last couple of years. So there was many tour buses around and on those roads. So not all of those tour buses could have been hockey teams or things like that. Now, this summer, I had a couple of opportunities to go camping in the beginning of the summer, and I just didn't have it to give. My camping opportunities were limited extremely, and I barely made it to the big what I call the big camping trip of the year, because that's essentially what it was. It was 2 weeks or so camping, and that was all I could do to make it to that. And I had plans to do another little bit of a road trip or a few camping trips this fall. However, those did not work out. I found myself struggling after the camping adventure that I went on here in the summer of 2021. I was already struggling before then, and I pushed myself to be social and to go to this function. And after that, I had a little bit of a crash, but I was able to somewhat recover. However, I still was not up to where I should have been. The camper didn't get cleaned out completely, and technically it's still not cleaned out and wiped down to what my satisfaction is. However, all the food and cold goods and stuff like that were removed, and the trailer was winterized because for some odd reason this spring I never did use the water, the onboard water system, so therefore there was nothing to winterize, and I'm kind of glad that it worked out that way, because due to the way everything's worked out, if I had not or had used the onboard water system, then we could be in for problems this winter and find out those issues come next spring. Once again, I think I got off a little bit of topic here, but my symptoms were a lot similar to the symptoms I experienced in 2019. However, the 2019 symptoms were more combined with these, but instead of mental issues, they were fatigue and like physical pain, where physical issues where I couldn't get up off the bedroom floor or the bathroom floor, and it was literally all I could do to take the dog out for whatever it would be, a 5-6 minute walk, and then drag myself up the stairs. This time around, the symptoms were pretty much the same, except they were more violent in some of the unpleasant kind of symptoms, as well as they weren't physical, but they were mental strain, mental type symptoms, where at first I thought it was because of the previous 2 weeks of isolation that I had gone through, getting to me being by myself. I'd look out the window and I'd swear that I'd see ambulances coming for my neighbors, like every 2-3 hours, and I'd look out in the parking lot in the daytime, and I'd swear that there was only about half a dozen to a dozen cars that I could see out of the potential 150 cars that are normally in my field of view. I'd think that something had happened, these people must have been at the hospital, or worse, something had happened and I was all alone. I'd reach out to my closest family member, and sometimes they wouldn't respond for a few hours. And during that time, of course, my anxiety and all that would start to act up, and I thought I was going crazy for a while. I would hear sirens, or at least I thought I heard sirens, drive by my apartment, and thinking, are they coming for me now? Are they here for me? What's going on? I once again was able to still walk the dog, barely. Sometimes I didn't make it back in before I had an issue, but that's nothing that cleaning yourself up and doing a load of laundry can't fix, right? Me and my closest family member had a couple of road trips in I believe it was August of 2021, and I'm not 100% sure who brought it home or who gave it to who, but we were both down at the same time with essentially the same thing. Except me, of course, being a little bit bigger of a person, carrying around a little bit more extra than a person should. When I was not keeping anything in or down, my body started to look for things, and of course it reaches for its nearest supply, and that of course is, well, what you're holding on to. Now, my nearest family member doesn't have that extra stuff and was going through the same things, as well as feeling the mental strain, and they thought it was just the isolation of being alone for those 2 weeks, because, well, we really hadn't seen each other more than sending a few texts, because talking on the phone was too much. And my family member went into essentially complete shutdown, because she wasn't eating, because she wasn't drinking. She couldn't eat or drink, couldn't keep anything in or down. When that happens, after a few days, your body starts to essentially feed on itself. Essentially, it started to consume fluids and moisture and liquid from other organs to keep the vital organs alive. And I don't remember exactly when it was or what was going on. I remember getting in contact with my auntie and saying that there was something wrong with my mom. And I remember my auntie bringing me some food, like water and Gatorade and cold type medications, but I don't remember exactly where I was at that point or at this point. I just remember grabbing 2 or 3 bottles from the no contact drop zone that was in my truck, because it's all that I had to carry. I couldn't even bring up a 24 pack of water because that was excruciatingly heavy. My mom finally allowed my auntie to come into her apartment, and my auntie was there with her for 1 night or maybe 2 nights, I'm not sure. I pushed myself, started feeling, a little bit more coherent, not by far, but a little more. And I went over to my mom's apartment, and I seen the kind of shape that my mom was in. I seen the color of my mom's complexion or skin. If you could picture the color gray, and then picture a sickly type of color gray. That's my mom's color, my mom's complexion. The last time I seen that kind of color, it was on my grandma when she had essentially passed away. So of course I sent Mom to the hospital. Now, I probably should have took her. However, I knew that if I ended up at the hospital, they probably would have kept me, because my mom was there in the waiting room for like 8 or 9 hours before she even got into a stall or space to see the hospital or to see the doctor. You would think a person who is struggling like my mom was, having issues like my mom was, and the complexion like my mom was, they would have got her in quicker. She was the only one that was showing those kind of symptoms and looking the way she was in all of the waiting room, I was told. However, they made her wait like the better part of 9 hours before seeing the doctor. And then when she seen the doctor, the first doctor she seen was rather rude and, what do you want to call it, abrasive. And, I'm so happy that my mom stuck it out and stayed there, because that was exactly where she needed to be. Because there's no way when your body reaches that kind of point of dehydration and shutdown that you could really ever come back from it on your own. My mom has been admitted to the hospital. She's not coherent on her text or her phone calls. I am trying to keep my mind around it and work, let the healthcare system do its job. I can't go see her, of course, because of the way everything is, nor even if things were open for me to see her, I probably shouldn't go see her in the condition or shape that I'm in, because they probably would keep me there. I have no idea where I am in my video uploading thing. I have no idea how behind I am in videos at this point. I know I have vlogs to be edited. I know I have project videos that were to be edited, to be uploaded in the upcoming weeks. However, I don't think that's going to happen in the shape that I'm in. I ask for your patience and your patience during all of this, because, well, I am barely hanging on as it is, doing everything I can to get back to where I can semi-function, and if it means a break in the YouTube videos, then then it is what it is. But thank you for watching and listening to this here video, and we'll see how she goes, and we'll try and do another check-in.